Hi everyone, I'm Nev,
I'm Cady.
and we're the Ladies of Leisure.
This is 10 Minutes of Leisure, and today I'm going to teach you all about the Boomerang Effect.
Yeah, what is that? Because I have not heard of this before.
How do you not know about the Boomerang Effect?
Well, I'm a newbie.
Well, so the Boomerang Effect is I think this is something that is particularly pertaining to people who live in cities, or particularly New York City, and are, out and about and have a tendency to lose things.
Yes, especially on a Friday or Saturday night.
I mean, it could be
Or a Monday night.
Could be any night.
Yeah.
But it may or may not have something to do with maybe some alcohol or drinks. But in general, I just want to say it's not only when I'm drinking, it's all the time. This is who I am. I have a tendency to lose things. Mm-hmm. However, if you believe that they will come back, they will come back. And that's the Boomerang Effect.
Okay.
You lose your things.
And then they come back.
And then they come back. So...
And this happens often, where you lose it and it comes back?
In my younger years, this happened almost every week.
Wow.
It happened a lot. Not every week. I'm exaggerating.
But still,
it happened a lot. A lot of phones have gone missing. Particularly, actually, I had a Christmas party years and years ago. I was in my 20s, and I can't really tell you how my bag went missing, but the bag went missing.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
The whole bag?
Yeah, the whole bag went missing. I woke up and I had no bag. And then I had a knock on my door. This is the Boomerang Effect.
Yeah.
And it was two police officers. And they had...
At your front door?
Yeah, and I was very startled and taken back. Why are there police officers at my door? And they were like, we have your bag. And they were like, we have your phone. They had stuff of mine.
Yeah.
And it had my address on it, so I don't know why they were bringing it back. I mean, all this it's blurry. But anyway,
and they just found it randomly out?
Yeah, but I had been out and about and sleeping, and when I woke up I was maybe a little blurry.
Yeah.
And I was like, those aren't my things.
You said they're not your things?
Yeah, I was like, these aren't my things. I didn't lose my things. I have my bag. Get out of here. You're the wrong girl. Yeah. Go find another drunk girl.
Yeah, because you're probably like, why are police officers at my door? Shit.
Yeah, this Boomerang Effect was a long time ago. And at that time, I don't know if you remember, I had that little tiny phone. It was that little pink thing.
Was it a flip phone?
No, it was a little pink phone. It was this big, and I used to wear it around my neck sometimes.
Yeah, I do. Did I have rhinestones?
Yeah, I had stickers all over it. Yeah, God, texting back then, you needed a T. It's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
A, B, C.
Took forever. That's why I hated texting in the beginning. I'm like, this is so stupid. I could just call someone.
Yeah, it was terrible. But anyway, so these cops, they got my phone, and I told them it wasn't mine, so they took it back, and then they checked it into wherever in phone heaven in the police station.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning a little bit clearer, and I was like, where's my bag and where's...
So it took you 24 hours to realize you didn't have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's when I think the next morning my roommates were like, yeah, the police were here. They had your phone and you said it wasn't yours. So they took it back. But anyway.
Do you remember that?
It's more just this was a long time ago. But anyway, I started texting with the police officer because once it goes into evidence, it's not so easy to get it back. And I just I don't know why I wanted this phone back so much.
Yeah.
The amount of work that went into getting this phone, it went on for 2 weeks texting the officer, but he was also kind of cute.
I didn't even know you can text officers.
Yeah, his name was Officer Can.
I love that you remember.
And he wanted...
It's everything else is blurry, but his name...
He wanted to take me on a date afterwards. And I was like, I just don't think it would be right.
Okay, I have something similar that happened to me with my one boomerang effect that I can remember, but I'll tell you after.
So I got that back. This was like long ago. So the boomerang effect, then this became like a joke because like I would lose phones and things like often, and then like somehow they always came back. Like I think people in general are good. I think people are good people, and people want to return your things. Like
I totally agree.
I think like if you believe in that and you think positive, I think they will come back. I was once in a bar, again, I lost my phone, and I just felt like at the bar, like nobody took my phone.
Yeah.
Like it was just, this was another day and time too when people used to talk to each other at bars. So like, I had everyone at the bar looking for the phone, and like no one could find the phone. And like everyone, like I like became friends with everyone. Everyone knew like, oh, that's the girl in the missing phone. Like if you see her phone, that's,
make sure you give it back.
That girl. So the next day, I call the bar and I was like, hey, did you guys end up finding my phone anywhere? And they're like, yeah, good news, bad news. I was like, let's hear it. Good news, we have your phone. Bad news, it was in the toilet.
How did it end up there?
It's obvious. Like, you don't see that?
No.
I knew right away.
Like in the actual toilet bowl?
Yeah, it was obvious.
No, what?
I had it in my back pocket, in my jeans.
Oh.
And I went to use the bathroom, pulled down my pants, phone in the toilet, pulled them up, flush, out of there.
Forgot about it.
Didn't realize.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that didn't work after that, did it?
You know, I didn't even really give it an opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'd be like,
that was one where you gotta cut it loose.
Exactly. You gotta cut your losses.
Out there in the world. But like moving has like super like stressed me out. I feel like I lose things when I'm stressed.
Yeah.
Like it's like just I have too much on my mind, and like the past week with like moving, it's just like it's been like a lot. Like it's like
I know.
Like you can't have like be stressed at work, stressed at home, stressed with moving. Like, it's just too much. Like it like makes you nuts. So last week, Thursday, the boomerang was back. Took an Uber home. Went and met a friend for dinner, whatever you want to call dinner.
Liquid dinner.
To each their own.
No judgment here.
Yeah. I'd had a rough week. Like moving is stressful, and then like we started hanging out and we were like having the best time, and like we were talking about my wedding planning and good things, and like she's like, I love you, and I was like, I love you.
That's what always happens when you see a good friend. You're like, we're gonna be out for only like dinner, like a quick dinner, a quick drink, and then it's like
she's like, I'm so happy for you, and she had like good news. I was like, I'm so happy for you, and like we were just like, have another one, like we should celebrate. So we celebrated, and then you know I wasn't like completely familiar with where I live, so I was like, I'm gonna take an Uber home. So I take an Uber home, and I had a teeny tiny bag, and I'm self-conscious of the bag because it's so small you don't feel it on your shoulder. And then I was also carrying another bigger bag because I was carrying snowshoes. And I had been careful of it the whole night because I kept like worrying I was going to leave my bag behind. So sure enough,
you left the bag behind?
I left the bag behind in the Uber. I knew it right away. And so like, you know, I like a really cool new tenant came in. I knew, and the car drove away, and I waved goodbye to my beautiful YSL gold mini bag that like to me is priceless. And the Uber was gone. It was too late, so I go to the doorman. I'm not crying, my eyes are just watery. These aren't tears. This is not a 40-year-old girl crying because she had too many drinks with her girlfriend and lost her bag. It's not.
Listen, that sounds like a bag to cry over. So
then he like had to call Brandon and be like, he didn't even know who I was. I just moved in there.
Oh, because your keys were in there.
And I had no ID or anything. And he was like, is this the girl who lives in your house? And he, like, thank God he wasn't like, no.
Yeah.
But then Brandon was like, but really what happened?
Yeah.
But luckily I don't keep my phone in my purse. So I had my phone.
Oh, that's good.
I had my phone on my shoulder. Anyway, case of the boomerang. The next day, the guy calls me and he's like, hello? Is this Cady? This is Cady.
You're like, it's Cady.
It's Cady that I lost my phone. But anyway, the guy was so nice. He was so apologetic. He was like, I'm so sorry I didn't pick up my phone last night. I came home. I went to sleep. I'm so sorry. I have your phone. I'll bring it to you.
Oh, that's so nice.
I was like, you're apologizing to me? I'm like, I'm sorry that I was like, that girl left my bag. So,
but that's so nice. So he brought it back to you.
He brought it to my work.
Oh my God, amazing.
He wasn't going to ask for anything. He was just going to return it to me. Obviously, I gave him a finder's fee.
That's amazing.
But the bag came back. But then the very next day.
Oh my God.
So that night I come home and I had my keys.
Yeah.
Because I came into the apartment. And then I don't know what I did with my keys. I went out to dinner with Brandon. We had a nice night. Next morning, Brandon was moving a bunch of my stuff downtown. Mm-hmm. So he left. And I went to go look for my keys. They're not there. So I call up Brandon and I'm like, baby, you took my keys. And he's like, baby, no, I didn't.
I knew he was going to say that.
I don't have your keys. And I was like, well, I don't have my keys. And he was like, well, where are your keys? I'm like, well, if I knew, I wouldn't be calling you. So, yeah. So I was like, where could these keys be? And like, I knew I didn't go anywhere. Like, I came home. I put the keys on the counter, I thought. Yeah. And I went to dinner. And we came back. And like, it was the morning. Like, where could they be? I checked the pockets of my jeans. I checked my coat pockets. I checked everywhere. Yeah. And so this might be a recurring thing for me. I once have lost keys before and I blamed it on Brandon. So it's like kind of a sore subject for him. Yeah. But he came home and like he's standing there and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm sure that the keys are somewhere, Brandon.
Oh, where were they?
And he's like, are you blaming me? And I'm like, I'm not blaming you. I just have checked all the logical places they could be if I did something with them. Mm-hmm. And I was going nuts. I looked everywhere. I double checked everything. It's like, I could not find these keys. And so I just sat there for like a minute and like really like retraced every possible way. Yeah. And then I thought of a possible place they could be. Because I knew I was contemplating switching my purse.
Oh, they were in the other purse.
So I'm in the bedroom and I look in the purse and there they are. And now I've blamed him twice.
What did he say?
For the keys. So I did like what any like normal woman would do.
Pretend they're missing.
I took the keys and I dropped them in his bag.
No.
And I was like, baby, baby, come here.
Oh my God, no, you
He's
didn't.
like, you found the keys. And I was like, mm-hmm. And I was like, and I accept your apology. He was like, what? I was like, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. Yeah. It's totally okay. And so he comes over and he looks and I was like, they're in your bag. You must have put them there. But the worst part is he knows me too well and he knows my sense of humor. And he was just like,
I was going to say, he probably knows.
He was like, you're an asshole. Where were they? But like,
I love that.
I found the keys and there was such a moment of shame. Yeah. I was like, Boomerang's back twice in a row. And I'm the problem, it's me.
Oh my God.
So I tried to like point the blame, but you know what? He knew. He knew.
Yeah, Udi always loses his things and he's always like, where are my keys? I'm like, I don't know. Where did you put them last? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, you have to leave them in the same place every time so you don't lose them.
One of my friends once got me a tracker for Christmas.
For your keys?
Yeah, so that like it's connected to your phone. You lose your keys, you press it and it beeps.
Oh, yeah. So when I lose things, which I would say I don't lose things very often. I mean, not anymore.
Well,
back in the day, like I would lose a credit card, things like that. But the one time I lost my phone, it came back to me. Boomerang, yeah. So I was out. I think I was like in Brooklyn somewhere. And I came back in a cab. And the next morning, I'm like, oh, I panicked. I was like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? You know that feeling?
Yeah, I know.
You know that feeling.
I know that feeling.
You know the feeling.
Till I know that feeling.
Yeah. So then like I tracked it because I use like the Find My iPhone. And I'm like, it's in a cab somewhere because I see it moving.
The worst is when you see it and you're like, come back.
Yeah, like I see it moving in Brooklyn and I'm like, oh, so it's still in the back of the cab. And there wasn't really anything I could do. And so I kind of was like, shit, I got to get a new phone, whatever. And then like a day or so later, I don't know if it was an email because I didn't have a phone. I think they called my roommate. And then she tells me that there was a phone call and it was about my phone and somebody found it. So it was like this guy that found it. And so I coordinated through her and he came to my job and dropped it off, which was very nice. And then he kind of like walked me home.
Oh, was he cute?
He was okay. I mean, he was young. He was like my age.
Oh.
And then he asked for my number.
Oh.
And I was like, all
wow.
right. Well, he found my phone. I should give him my phone number.
This is Boomerang and romance.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a true rom-com.
Honestly, it would have been, if I was into the guy, it would have been like the best way to meet someone.
Can you just say that's how you met Udi?
That's how I met Udi.
And
that's our story. And that's our story. So like we texted for a little bit. But I never went out on a date with him because I don't know, like
just like Officer
text,
Can.
Things get weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you canned him.
Yeah. I canned him.
You canned him. Yeah.
But that's really the only time where I remember like really losing something that like came back to me.
Yeah.
Other than that, they don't come back to me. But I'm gonna try your theory, and I'm gonna always think positive, and it's gonna come back to me.
I've lost a lot of things that have came back to me.
That's amazing. You're lucky.
Some I'm really lucky
about. Yeah. Yes.
Including my future husband.
Yeah. Now that's the best boomerang.
That is the best boomerang of them all. So if you believe in the power of positivity, they will come back.
And things coming back to you that you lose.
It all comes back. Yeah. Wow, that was more than 10 minutes.
Yes, but that's okay. All right, everyone.
Bye. Bye.